Welcome to Subramani. Here is an experiment that I am doing. I am going to talk to you about my investment process, or rather the equity portfolio building process. So some things which I didn't have to do but you may have to do, and some things which I do which you can't do, right? So all these things will be there, so you have to be careful. So step 1, learn to involve the family. Make sure that your mother, father, wife, daughter, son, whoever is an important part of the decision making process understands equity, because if there is no buy-in for equity and the amount of money that you're putting in is significant, then when the markets are down, they will chew your brain and you will sell at completely at the wrong time, right? So one very important thing is to know when to sell. And you cannot wait for to see my tweets. I very rarely sell. I have not sold, let me put it this way, in the last 40 years that I have been investing, at least in the last 20-25 years, I have not sold any share because I wanted money, right? I have sold because I want to buy something else, because some other share is better than this share, so I've sold X to buy Y. But I have not sold to get money to do something else. Oh, I need to furnish my house, so I want to sell some shares. I want to buy a house, therefore I'm selling shares. None of this has happened. So no capex has been funded by my equity portfolio. No vacation has been funded by my equity portfolio. Nothing. Everything else in my life has come out of current income. So that's a huge advantage. If you are forced to draw down during a bad time, when people will come and ask me things like, oh, my mother is in the hospital and you're telling me I should not be selling equity. My friend, it's not that I'm saying don't sell equity when your mother is in the hospital. I'm saying you should have been smart enough to have adequate medical insurance, right? That's the solution, not this, right? So ideally you should never have to sell equity in a distress. That's been my huge single, if you ask me, that has been my one single large advantage of not having to sell my portfolio to meet any of my goals. No buying of a car, no buying of an office, maybe buying of an office, but that is in the 1980s, right? So last 30 years that has also not happened. Nothing. I have not sold my equity shares at all under distress. If I have sold to buy something else. So it's not a sale, right? It is a switch. So therefore be very careful. You should never have to sell equity in distress. And the distress should not be caused by the family member saying, see, market has fallen, Adani's share has fallen, Ambani's share has fallen. Doesn't matter. As long as you don't have to sell during a bad drawdown, your portfolio will make money. So get your family involved. So my lesson number 1 is to involve your family, make them understand the process, and also reward them. In the year when the markets have done well and you've got some 40% return or 50% return, withdraw money from equity. Tell your family, look, we have made good money in equity, so I'm withdrawing an X amount, and that amount could be, it has to be proportionate to your portfolio. So I know somebody who withdrew money to go for a Europe vacation for a family of 4. Must have costed him about 10 to 12 lakhs. Or maybe a little more than that, but he could remove it from his equity portfolio, and his family was very happy that this. So the family gets more involved, saying, wow, you should put money in equity, look at the benefits. Or it could be eating out. You could take your family to a 5-star hotel and treat them to a 15,000 rupee meal, right? 3 of you go and spend 15,000 bucks. This doesn't happen often. So you say, look, because the markets have done well, 3 of us will go and eat real sumptuous food and have fun, right? So that's important, that you involve the family in equities. That is, I would think, step number 1. Step number 2 is to have an investment philosophy statement saying why you are investing in equities. This is again a family document. Your family should know why you're investing in equities. Largely, it is to combat inflation in your portfolio. Some of your money may be in debt investment, some of your money may be in real estate, maybe you have gold, and now you are also having equities, and you have been investing in index funds or been investing in mutual funds other than index funds, and now you feel that you should be doing direct equity. Again, I'm saying you could be in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, doesn't really matter, but you need to put in a process in place. And when you put a process in place, please write down the process involving your family. Maybe you dictate it into a machine and get it typed, or you type it yourself. I'm very comfortable typing, or record it and keep it in a video format. There is nothing which says your investment philosophy should be in writing, but it is nice to have it in writing, because on video your ability to store it, recall it and all look very difficult. So what should be the investment process? So first of all, define the universe in which you are going to invest. So here we are not talking of mutual funds, we are talking of direct equities. You are going to invest in direct equities, so I would suggest for beginners, your universe should be only India. You don't need to go and put money in the US markets and things like that. Stick to India. And very clearly, if you're not going to put a very big amount of money, very clearly restrict yourself to the top 200 Indian companies. You don't need to go beyond that. So your investment philosophy statement should describe the whole investment process. So first, what is your investment universe? So I would suggest that you stick to the top 200 companies. Second, find out the process by which you are going to identify the companies. Right? 200 is too big. So how are you going to identify? So first of all, create a mock portfolio where you could be copying the index. So if the index has certain industries, it has technology, it has banking, it has steel, it has oil, it has software, right? It has all that. So then you also need to create a portfolio in your head or on paper, saying all these have to be represented. I need to have pharma, I need to have technology, I need to have banks, so I need to have an insurance company, maybe I need to have one mutual fund, maybe one brokerage company, maybe one listed stock exchange, whatever. You create your own mental portfolio and make sure that portfolio is not beyond 30 companies. You don't need diversification beyond 30 companies. I'll soon be doing a video on focused funds, and focused funds look at only 30 companies. So if focused fund manager like a Roshi Jain is able to create value for you with 30 companies should be enough. I'm not even saying look at her portfolio and copy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you look at the index and copy, because the index, when there is a change, you can also make a change in your portfolio. After having said that, you said, okay, I will be in the index, and then you say, okay, in the index, I don't want to be in TCS and Infosys, I want to be in HCL and say some other company, right? Some happiness, I want to be in that company. I don't want to be in these two companies. That's fine. Choose your companies, but your weightage for IT cannot exceed the weightage in the Sensex. In fact, if anything, if you are deviating a lot from the weightage in the Sensex, you should have very strong reasons to do it, because here we are saying how to build a simple portfolio, right? One more thing is your aim could be very different. A fund manager could be looking for growth, you could be looking for a combination for growth and dividend. If you are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, you are looking for growth. In your 60s, 70s, maybe 80s, you are looking for dividend, right? So of course every return need not be dividend. Some of the return will come in the form of capital gain, but I'm just saying, younger person may be looking for more growth and the older person may be looking for more dividend yield. So, but the younger person could be building a portfolio on dividend yield, because at a later stage that dividend yield will look very attractive. For example, I could get HDFC, hold your breath, at below par, right? Some 97, 98 rupees must have been the cost.